But one of the other messages that went through your book a lot was, and I loved this because you mentioned how what happened in the house with your mom, or in general, actually, I'm guessing, defined everyone. Finally, it never actually happened. And I loved that. Why do you think your family swept things under the rug and didn't talk about their feelings?
I think it was a product of the 1970s. And I think probably our foremothers and bearers from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and I don't know when it changed, would agree with us, would share a similar, and I don't, I'm not educated enough to know, but I think there's a point where humans just survive. And then there's a point where, you go further into the emotional, in a good way, maybe in a bad way sometimes. But I think we were like a lot of other families in the 70s, a functional, loving family that didn't really discuss anything that actually happened, but still love each other. And I have a great story about the book when it came out, right before it came out. Well, this is funny because I didn't want to share the book with my nuclear family because I was afraid of what they were going to think of me.
Mm,
And
yeah.
they gave me complete freedom to. They were like, just do what you got to do. And so the book was coming out in March, and I was home for Christmas, and I basically dropped off binders at their homes and left, like
Mm.
went out of town, and I was so afraid of what they were going to say. And so, like 2 months later, I got a text from my dad, and the text read something like, "I read your book. It was, a great, uh, I traveled back in time with you. I think you handled the delicate matters really well. I won't say anything more because we don't talk about that kind of stuff." And then he put
Okay.
dog emoji, dog emoji, dog emoji. That's what he did, like 18 dog emojis. And I will tell you this, Anne, that is the last text I ever received from my father. He passed away suddenly the next week. And so he never held the actual book in his hand, but he read it. And I got that great review,
Mm.
and I got that incredible, we don't talk about that kind of stuff. Like he totally got it. And that text is one of the biggest gifts of my life. But it just said what you said, we don't talk about our feelings. And he acknowledged that, but I also wonder if he felt like maybe we should have talked more. Hard to say because I never got to ask him. So
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We didn't talk about those things in 1978. We had huge secrets in our family, and we didn't have terms like gaslighting and things like,
right.
we just didn't talk about it. We ignored it and we moved on. And that was the times. You said somewhere below the surface, what we think we see is real life. And that is so true. I love how you wrote that. Now, when you went back in time, though, what secrets did you find?